All right, next one. Matthew, this one's for you. As an INFP, I kind of need to know how to be more expressive of my opinions without coming across wrong, especially like a jerk or rude. Like explaining something that you are not sure that they will agree with, but still get your point across. Okay, cool. So I don't have context to this. So is this at work? Is this at home? Is this where is it? But that's okay. I can see if I can just answer this anyway. So there's a couple of things that you need to do. Like there's a couple of steps that you can do to do this. Number one is check yourself. You know, who is it that's speaking? Is it one of your inner children that's reacting to the situation? And if it is, then kind of pull yourself back from the situation, get yourself together, and then go back to the situation when your adult self and your inner parent are communicating this to other people. The other thing is the 4 criteria on making good decisions, which I know some of you are already super familiar with. One of them, of course, is this authentic to me? So what I'm about to say, is it authentic to me? Number 2 is this the most harmonious way of doing this? So what I need to say, what's the most harmonious way of doing it? Number 3, do I have all the information? Like, am I actually speaking truth as in accuracy-wise? Do I have all the facts to back up where I'm coming from? And will I have those facts to kind of, pass on to the other person who's asking the question or who's at the receiving end of this communication? And then finally, is this the most effective way of doing this? So sometimes, especially if you're triggered in your inner child position and you want to communicate something to somebody else, that's not the most effective way of doing it. The most effective way actually is to go away, get yourself together, get the inner children out of the driver's seat, and then go and have that conversation. So there's those 4 criteria. The other thing that really helps in this particular situation is, give people a permission to disagree with you. So you can say something like, I understand that this may not be exactly the right thing for you, but this is where I'm coming from and this is what needs to happen. So if you're in a leadership position, you need to tell the person what's going to happen, because, if you're their leader, then it's your responsibility to lead. So then you say, I get that this may not be exactly right for you. This is what I want done. This is the end result that I want done. And if they don't agree with that, then you can just say, hey, I'd prefer if you were an active participant in this situation, but if you're not, that's your prerogative. And then, if we need to do your work, then there will be no work for you to do here. If it's in like intimate relationships, you can say, hey, I get that, you might disagree with this. And I would like to ask you to hear what I have to say, to see it from my perspective, and let's then see if we can come to some kind of a conclusion that works both of us, because we're always looking for win-win-win. So we're looking for a win for you, a win for me, and a win for the whole situation. So that's one. And then there's the other thing, which is the final thing, which is, hey, do you have questions about this? So this is how I'd like things to be done. Do you have questions about it? Can I help you with understanding what this is? Or can I help you with anything in relation to this? So really those 4 things for me, check who's speaking. So that it's not your inner children that's speaking. Number 2, fulfill the 4 criteria. Is this authentic to me? Is this the most harmonious thing to do? Do I have all the facts? And is this the most effective way of doing this? Then give people a permission to disagree with you. And finally, be open to be asked questions of. So that softens it. And I know that INFP space, especially when you first start setting boundaries, you come across as like, it's almost like there's no filter. It's like it has to be like this, and it can come across really forceful. And sometimes people even do interpret it as being rude or being a jerk or whatever. But that's just because it's not coming from the place of, the exploration, the inner parent, which is your parent way of your grown-up way of dealing with the world. So when it comes from that space, people are a lot more perceptive to what you have to say, because you're a lot softer. So that's I hope that that helps, Matthew. Please let me know if it does, if you have any further questions on that. Happy to get more into it.